that's why I don't really do them, and that's why I'm building this right here pretty much. But it's not the finish. It's not the full PC. Those are just like stuff to get it running. I'll show everything up there. I mean, if I wanted to build a full PC, it would have been another weekend. I'm like real late on deadlines, and people have been asking about it. So I said I might as well just build it, and I'll do a video later on showing like my upgrades. You know, it's not much to upgrade. It's just a few things coming in the middle. So my side panel, gonna put it over here, and I'm advertising for DJBlacc. He made the shirt. That's the front. That's the back. If y'all need one for a future video, hit him up. I have the link down in the description. And a lot of people have been asking, like, what all am I putting into the computer? I'm going to put those down in the description as well. And these are just books and stuff. Some wire ties, etc. I'm going to keep those there, actually. And this is... I'm actually at school making this video. You come closer. I'm actually at school making this video. And the first thing that I am going to do is put in my power supply. I know you guys are looking like, what are all those wires? Fortunately, they did all the wiring for me. Well, that part of the wiring, they did it all for me. I just kind of separated them. But I'm going to actually move them all out of the way. I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm actually going to do everything step by step and show y'all how I do everything. Alright. So we got all those wires over there. For the power supply. And before I decided to build this PC, I watched a ton of videos on how to build a PC. And a couple of them actually had this exact power supply. I didn't want this power supply at first until I learned more about the pins on the power supply. The guy at the store, I was asking him questions, and he said, what type of graphics card are you getting? What type of motherboard? Stuff like that. And he said, and after I told him the graphics card, he was like, get such and such power supply is on sale. So I said, alright, I'll get it. And what's cool about this one is you're not supposed to put the fan facing down. Normally, you'll have a fan blowing out that way, or normally the fan will even be at the top, but with this case right here, it has such a good design for airflow. They have it put at the bottom, which has this filter you can pull out, and it's lifted, as you can see, so no dust can really get through it, and it has vents in the back. So what it does is, it pulls the air like this, and this fan blows out, and this fan right here blows out, so it pulls the air, pushes it out that way, and pushes it out that way. So, and it's a fan that's right here, so it pushes it in a like flow. It's a steady flow. So this is a pretty well-designed case, and it's my favorite color. So it caught my eye, so I said that's why I'll get it. And for the stuff that you see me using this, I'll put them down in the description with prices and the sales and where you can find them. There we go. And it's the Corsair CX600. You're supposed to take this off. That's pretty cool. You put this on, and I guess if you have a bigger power supply, you can move it up. See, that's pretty cool. I didn't even notice that. So you can adjust it for different size power supplies. There we go. Go close to that. Get that out of the way. That is actually a pretty weird fit. They want to keep the power supply elevated. But hey, I'm not complaining. And you got the 4 screws. With all the screws lined up so the case was made for different power supplies. I guess it was made for many power supplies. Normally a case would have 4 slots, but this one actually has 6. I guess that's pretty cool. There we go. I'm not going to tighten them all the way. I'll actually line them up first. Oops, I dropped the screw. I knew that was going to happen. It's probably going to happen a lot of times in this video. Go. You know what? It's not seated all the way. There we go. And a lot of you was laughing at these gloves. The reason why I'm wearing these gloves is because I spent quite a bit of money on all these parts. And when you're spending your own money and you're building something yourself, you don't want to break nothing and you don't want to wait for nothing to come in the mail because of RMA. So why not be careful the first time you do it, you know? It's my first time building one. I'm confident in myself, but then again, why would I even put myself at that risk? There we go. So that's the power supply. I guess I can start hooking some of this up. And you don't have to worry about wires being all through the case, you know? Because what they did is they made this side panel with another door that you can take off. That's so you can keep it all looking organized. There we go. These look like these are the cables for the hard drives. And in a minute I'm going to tell you guys why these are made like this, how they have the little curves in them, like how they flip like that. I'm going to tell you in a minute why they're made like that. Alright, so that right there looks nice and neat. Now, I can put this back here and see it locks right in place. That's perfect. Double push so you can see it. when you slide it in, it locks it right in place so that the power supply is elevated and secure so it doesn't overheat. And dust, so it has that vent, so it'll do like a kind of pull thing and pull the dust up and push it in the air, like I was telling you guys earlier. I hate gloves. There we go. Alright. Okay. And that's that. The power supply is all safe and secure. And this is a wire for the fan. I'm probably going to have it like this, or it's actually going to be right around this area. We'll see when I get to that part. But now I'm going to assemble the motherboard. Put this crap back. That's the cord. Got quite a few things with this motherboard. These are the SATA cables. This one is for SATA 3s. The book for quick installation. All that good stuff. And this motherboard is the ASRock Extreme 4 Z77. It has quite a few features, you know. It has a lot of USB slots, a whole lot. USB 3.0s and 2.0s. It has that Intel onboard graphics, so you won't necessarily need a graphics card, but if you're into gaming, like decent gaming, you are going to need it. This is a static-proof bag, and what I'm going to do is, just to be safe, I'm going to actually set this on the static-proof bag. A lot of people say that's not a good idea, but a lot of people say it is a good idea, but it's a static-proof bag. I doubt static is going to pass up through the bag when it's static-proof. If it can't get in, how's it going to get through it, you know? So, we're going to take that off. And install my CPU. I got the i7 3770K, and it's a pretty good processor. You can't go wrong with it. I've read. It comes with its own CPU coolant, but I'm not going to use the Intel. See, look how shaky that is. It doesn't even seem like it's something that you would want to use. So I'm going to put this back in the box because I'm not using that. But I'll just keep it just to say I have it. Or in case I do have to return something, you know, if anything goes wrong, which I doubt will happen, I hope not. This thing looks pretty cool though. It's a nice motherboard. I like the black and gold effect of it, you know. Make sure I place it right. You only go one way, you know. So you can always tell if you set it in wrong. They have kind of a pattern. There it is. You want that to lock in place. There we go, and that's there. It's pretty good. And be sure to keep this, because if you ever have to make a return, they are going to this board. They are going to want you to put this back to protect those pins. And that's pretty much for the CPU. That was pretty simple. This is the driver's CD. This is that plate. When you put that there, but I bought my own cooling fan. I was gonna go with water cooling, but I say no. I'm putting too much money into the computer. If something ever happens to leak, I am not gonna be happy. So I said to avoid like even making myself worried about it, I'm just gonna go with air cooling. This one has some pretty good reviews. It's the Hyper 212. I think the nickname for it is the Evo. It's pretty big. Keep in mind, it's pretty big, but it gets the job done. That's what I read. And to install this, I don't think I will wear gloves. It kind of the gloves are kind of annoying me. Even though I want to be safe with it, it's still kind of annoying me. And reading up on this fan right here, I heard it was annoying to install it because the instructions doesn't make any sense. So you got parts A, which is the actual, you gotta take the fan off before you install it. And you can put another fan on if you want to. This thing is huge. And that's the part that you're going to put on the CPU right there. Let's see how it fits. Yep. So I'm going to stand that just like that. Put the fan over to the side. Alright. Got that part done. Now let's see what I do next. Well, I'm not going to touch none of the metal parts with my bare hands. It goes like that. But this is pretty darn weird. You line up the pins with these screws. And then you have some standoffs. It doesn't even say if you use the standoffs first. Alright, I see. What you do is you place them in there first. Move that. This is pieces in case you buy another fan, which I probably won't be doing because I think 4 fans in the computer is enough. If I do add another one, it'll end up being a big one up top here. And it has the spots marked out.